Let's jump straight in then. So to start with, we're just going to do some nice easy stretching on the quads before we start with that tough one that we did last week, or certainly tough for me, as you remember. So on your, just sit on your knees to start with, and all you're going to do is just, you can use your hands to support behind if you need, but just kind of rock back until you start to feel a stretch. And if you want, you can start to put your hands on the floor, and you can even start to raise the hips if you need to. Just find a reasonably comfy position to start with, and just hold there for a little bit. So we're just going to stretch both quads at once, and then we're going to stand up and do some single leg quad stretch as well. Again, if you want to go higher with the hips, you can. If you can go further back, that's fine as well. That's good. Hopefully feeling this down the front of the thighs. You can go as low as you need to go. 30 seconds more. Nice big breaths as usual. Just relaxed. If you can start to push the hips a bit higher or lean further back, now do that. That's good. A few more seconds. Okay, all right. Everybody stand up for me, and we're just going to do a really simple, basic quad stretch, the standing quad stretch. So grabbing the foot, knees together or close together, and you're just going to pull the heel to the bum. When we're doing this, I want you to tuck the bum under, squeeze the bum, keep the ribs down, as with most stretches for the hip flexor region. And then you can work on pulling the knee back as long as you're in that position. So what we don't want is to pull the knee back and then to do that, because just, as you can see, I can go much further. So ribs down, glute on, and then just working on pulling the knee back in that position. And we're just going to do this 30-40 seconds per side as well. Basically, we're just easing into that tough stretch. It's just a bit too hard to jump straight in at, I think. So that's what we're doing. And just swap sides. As you can see, I'm just using something to balance on. Feel free to do that. If you don't want to, that's fine as well. Same position, ribs down, glute on. That's it, just 30 seconds. Nice and easy, nothing too aggressive yet. Just another 10 seconds, then we'll go into the hip flexor stretch in the lunge before we move into that one. So again, one step up, but not quite as hard as that one. Okay, so the one I was talking about, the hip flexor one first, is that one in this position, in the lunge position. Same thing with the hips and the spine. Tuck the bum under, ribs down a bit, and then you can work on pushing the hips forwards. Again, you don't want to be pushing hips forwards and coming into extension, because it just makes it easy. As you can see, even I can get there. So tuck under and then push. And just hold this for, again, we're going to do 30 to 40 seconds each side. So we just work slowly getting harder. The next one we do is the one on the wall. Getting wall already. And again, just breathing into the stretch. Nice and easy. A few more seconds. Maybe you can push it a little bit further now, but without sacrificing the position. And then we'll change sides. Same thing, straight in. That's it. Good. Good breathing. You can stay upright as long as your ribs aren't flared too much as well, if that's something you need to do to create more stretch. Don't forget the glute. After 10-15 seconds, you might find that your glutes turned off. So just reactivate. Couple more seconds here. Okay. So if you weren't here last week or you can't remember the one that I'm talking about, I will quickly try and show you best I can. So the goal is to get in this position with the front leg, which you'll see I can't do, and it's getting the back knee into the wall, the shin vertical on the wall, and then it's in the lunge position. Okay, so from there, trying to get up as high as you can. Now, for me to get in this position, I have to arch a lot like this, and I want to try and avoid that. So when I do it, I'm going to not come as high so I can keep this good position. Okay, so you do that as well if you need to. If you find that you just round it at arching too much, then do that as well. All right, so we're just going to hold this for a minute to 2 minutes per side. We're going to really spend a bit of time in here. So for me, I'm going to get into this position here. I'm going to stay there. That's going to get quite painful after a time, and I'll just have a quick rest after 30 seconds, 40 seconds. You can do the same. All right, so if you're ready, we'll start now. So I'm going to keep one hand down. You can do that too if you need to. The other option for you guys is to pull the knee away from the wall a little bit. That will help with the stretch. You might find you can get in a little bit of a favorable position that way. It's your choice. Both work as long as you're feeling it in the quad on the back leg, maybe even into the hip flexor. That's great. We're just going to hold it. Slowly start making it a little bit harder if you can. But remembering not to sacrifice your positioning for that increased difficulty. And just try and breathe through the pain, because it does hurt a little bit. And try and remember that position of the hips and the spine too. We're still trying to tuck the bum under. Even if there might not be much movement at all, the intent is good. A few more seconds here. And then we're going to make it a little bit harder again, as in just do what you've done, trying to go a bit more upright. We're not going to move. Okay, a little bit harder. Ooh. A bit of rest for me. Does get quite painful. If you're all right, keep going. Not long left on this side. Four more seconds. Okay, good. Shake off if you need to. We're going to go straight into the next leg. Same thing, you know what to do now. So again, I'm going to start low. I'm going to go here. As you can see, I'm using everything to support me, just to make it a little bit easier on myself. Because I'm pretty tight, as you know. So if you've got to do that as well, that's fine. Anything around you can use. Try and keep the same positioning. You're all good. Good to keep breathing through it. Big breaths if you can. Good. If you're about to push into the stretch a little bit harder, do it on the way out of an exhalation. So breathe in, and then if you want to go a bit harder, breathe out and push into the stretch, make it a bit harder, and then try and hold it a bit, and then you can release it a bit if you need to. All right, make it a little bit more difficult. And then last 10 seconds or so here. Breathe through it. A little bit of pain, or a lot of pain. Oh, okay, good. Rest. All right. Well, next up, we've done this one again before. So the overhead squat on the wall squat. So one sec. So it's done where we're lying on the floor, feet against the floor. No, feet against the wall. In your squat position, and then hands overhead. Okay, so the goal is to squat as close to the wall as you can, and then get the arms as close to the floor as you can, and as close to your head as you can. What you'll see is, for myself to get further back, then I'll have to go a bit wider. And if that's the case for you, then that's absolutely fine. Okay, so what we're doing this for? We're doing this for 2 minutes. Overhead wall squat. So into your position. If you want this more hip related, you can go wider with the feet and really try and push the knees out. If your main goal is the overhead, then you can just focus on that. Okay, so 2 minutes. Here we go. So you might find you have to fight into a position to start with, and then hopefully you start to relax into that position and it's a bit easier. So just get there, start with a deep breath straight away. And relax. Nice slow breathing. Thinking about pulling those knees out. Keeping the lower back into the floor so that our abs are slightly engaged. And trying to get those arms into the floor. Just nice and easy. Keep relaxing. Nice big breath. Just focus on your breathing. Good, almost there. Good, last few seconds. Okay, time. Good, that's your 2 minutes. Nice work. So we're going to stay on the wall. You've got two options here, depends on how much space you've got. If you've got a lot of space, which I don't, then I'll quickly show you on the floor the same thing. So it would be a V with the legs. So like the one we did, stood up, put you against the wall, and you're just letting gravity pull the legs apart. If you can't do that, so like me, if you've not got enough space, then feet together, so almost like a butterfly position, and you're just going to push the knees out. So I can show you with one leg, I think that you can see. That's one option. So legs straight. My legs are so tight, I might be able to do it actually. And then that's your second one. Okay. So we're going to do this for 2 minutes as well. So whichever one you've chosen, start the timer. All right. Here we go. If you've got the space and you want to move between them, that's fine. You can alternate. That's all good. They work the same kind of area, both stretching the groin and adductors. Just try and keep a good straight back. Push the knees out if you're doing the same one as me. You can use the glutes to pull them out as well as using your hands. And then again, just breathing nice and slow, big breaths. Focus on that stretch, focus on the breathing. Trying to relax into the stretch. Relaxed muscles are much easier to stretch. So you don't want to be all uptight. Just going to check on you guys. Brill, good. Good work, nice. So if you're doing that straight leg one, try and make sure you don't bend those knees. Try and keep the legs straight so you're pushing the knees into the wall as well. And that might give you a bit of a hamstring stretch too. Whichever one you've chosen, just keep pushing it a little bit further every 30 seconds to every minute. You're in your last minute, so we're almost there. Just keep breathing, big breaths. Five more seconds. Okay, that's it. Good. Lovely, really good. Okay, so the next one we have is, not sure you can see me there. So it's the 90-90 again. So if you remember this one, we're looking at getting 90 degrees with each leg and then 90 degrees from each side. So knees at 90 degrees and the hips here as well. Okay. So what we're going to do with this one is just for a couple of minutes, we're just going to move from that position into that position. So when we're doing that, I'm going to move into the middle, but just to show you. And if you need to, again, if you can't stay upright and you have to support yourself with your arm, that's fine. And as you transition, you might find that's really difficult. So just narrow the legs to transition and then get back in your position. All right. You might find that you can keep the feet planted and rotate through. It's tough on the hips, but if you can do that, then that's even better. And this one, yeah, we're just going to do it for a minute. All right. So in your positions, doesn't matter which one you start on, just start. All right. So holding it for a few seconds, trying to get a bit of a stretch in one of the hips, whichever one you're doing, and then move through. Try and do it with feet planted, see what happens. You might find you have to lean back a lot to do it, and that's okay as well. That's what I have to do. 30 seconds left. Good. Keep rotating through. As you rotate through, knees wide, get the knees out. That's the minute. We'll just do another 10-15 seconds, give you a chance to get a good few reps on each one. Good. Okay, nice work. All right, next up we have the Spider-Man stretch. And on this one, we're just going to stay in the position, stay in the bottom position, trying to get the elbow on the floor. That's it. No moving, no rotating this time. So for those who don't remember, Spider-Man stretch is that one. Trying to keep the back leg as straight as you can. You can see mine's going to bend. If you want to, you can put it on the floor. That's fine. It's up to you. Because we're going to be here a little bit. And then again, trying to get the elbow to the floor. So we are pushing into it. All right. So it's just going to be a minute per side. Pick a side, doesn't matter which you start with. And here we go. So I'm going to start with my knee off, trying to get my elbow down. If you start to get a little bit tired, then just relax the leg. All the time, pulling this knee out as well. Don't worry if you can't get your knee to the elbow to the floor. You can always spend a few seconds forcing it, trying, and then a little bit of relaxing in there. Try and get it down and relax. Just going to drop my knee down for a bit now. Take some weight off my arm. And try it again. A few more seconds. And we swap sides. Okay, 60 seconds. So same thing, knee out, try and drop the elbow down, try and keep that back knee high to start with. I'll give you a shout at the 30-second mark if you want to start to drop the knee there. Trying to get that elbow down, and then a period of relaxing a bit. Trying again. That's 30 seconds if you want to drop your knee. And if you do drop your knee, flatten your foot as well. You might find that lets you get a little bit lower as well with the elbow. Feel free to reposition this standing leg every now and again. You can go a bit wider, a bit higher up. Okay, good. Next up, we're into hamstrings. So this one we've done before. We're just going to sit on a bum, legs straight, toes pointing towards us. We're just going to try and get our chest as close to the knees as possible. That's it. A long hold again. So we did this for 3 minutes last time. We've been doing it for 3 minutes again. If you want to support yourself, you can wrap a towel around something and pull yourself in. That's fine. As with everything, if you want a bit of a rest and reprieve at times, you can just sit back. That's fine. Okay, so let's get started. Try and keep your legs straight. Try and keep your legs parallel. And just reach for whatever you can grab to start with. So we're going to work into it. We've not done much hamstring stretching yet, not much. So start easy if you need to. We know that we get more and more flexibility as we do it, so don't worry if you can't touch your toes yet. Every 30 seconds, let's push it a little bit further. Focus on your breathing. Really trying to relax into it. Good, nice work, guys. It's good. We've already had a minute. It's good. Big breath. Breathe out. Push into that stretch as a little push. And then back to normal. And then repeat. Just over 1 minute left now. Good. If you haven't been pulling your toes towards you, do so. Good. And you can also tuck the chin under. That's going to increase the stretch mainly in the back as well. Maybe even in the neck. Coming up to our last 30 seconds now, guys. A few more deep breaths, big breaths. All the way out. Push that stretch a bit further on the way out. And then back to where you were for the breath in. And repeat. Big breath in. All the way out. Push the stretch. And then slowly come out with it. Oh. Nice and relaxed there. Okay, 3 minutes in there. Next up. A drink. So next we have seated butterfly. So it's like we did on the wall. Just scoot back so you can see again. So it's feet together. We're trying to stay upright. You might find your back rounds a little bit. That's okay. Just strive to pull the chest up. Okay. So soles of your feet are together. You're pulling the feet into you, and we're trying to force our knees out towards the floor. Okay. And we just hold that. It's a big hold again. A long time. Just trying to ease into a better position. So really pull that chest up, pull yourself into neutral spine as much as you can. Push those knees out. It's a 3 minute hold, guys, so don't worry if you're needing a break again, that's fine. Some of you will find this really tough to get your knees anywhere near the floor or to keep the chest up at all. Some of you might not. That's okay. Same thing, big chest, pull the knees down and just breathe. That's it. Good. Nice work. Keep going. Big breath in. Hold the way out. Every time. Good. Halfway there now. Good. Nice. Good. Well done, guys. Awesome. Closer you can get your heels to the bum, the harder it is. Don't worry if that's not very close. On to our last 30 seconds, guys. Keep going. Keep working on that stretch. Almost there with it. "15 seconds now. Keep pulling them knees out and down. And oh, that's time. Good. Lovely. All right, we have 2 more. Next is downward facing dog into cobra, so it's a dynamic one. It's only a minute, so it's, again, we've done this one before. We're on hands and feet into the, so this one's a downward dog. So we are striving for straight legs, pushing the heels down if you can, and then trying to get your head through your arms. So we move from that position into the cobra, which is that one. And that one we're trying to get hips down, pull the chest up. Be careful you don't crank on the lower back on that one. All right, just a minute. Here we go. Just move through at your own pace. Something around 5 seconds. Hold on each stretch is fine. Hopefully you can just move straight through one to the other without messing about with your feet or hand position too much. Don't worry if you need to walk your feet back or anything. "20 seconds. Okay, time. Good. Excellent. Last one. It's just the back stretch that we're going to hold again. So we'll get straight in. It's 2 minutes. So this one, feet in the same position as the butterfly, feet soles touching each other, hands under legs. So they're under the calves onto my ankle, and just pull yourself into a back stretch. So pulling the chest down as low as it will go. Okay, here we go. 2 minutes, that's it. and then we're done. So big breaths. And just relax. Last 2 minutes, this is it. Nice, guys, that's good. And relax into it again, pulling a bit further. Tuck the chin in, make it a deeper stretch. And you're trying to round your back. Almost there now, 40 seconds.